Welcome to the Transition Toolbox by Carrington Claude Learning.
Today's topic is Mastering Your Money in High School. Let's dive in.
Welcome to a very special deep dive. I'm so thrilled you're here with us today. We are going to explore a topic that, every single person on the planet thinks about.
Oh, absolutely. Everyone thinks about it.
Right. But surprisingly few people actually understand how to master it. And we're talking about money.
Yes, the big one.
Specifically, we're going to look at how you can earn it, how you can hold on to it, and how you can actually make it grow on its own.
Which is the dream, really.
Totally. So if you were in high school right now, anywhere from 9th to 12th grade, this deep dive is built entirely for you.
It absolutely is. And to make sure we're giving you the most reliable, practical information possible, we've pulled together this massive stack of source material.
It's a huge stack.
Yeah, we are looking at guides from established financial institutions like Citizens Bank, Piscataqua Savings Bank, and Arthur State Bank. We also have information from the FDIC.
And for those who might not know, it's basically the government agency that makes sure the money you put into a bank actually stays safe and protected.
Exactly. And we're combining all of that with insights from the Utah Parent Center and money management experts at Ramsey Solutions.
It is a massive amount of reading, but don't worry at all. You do not have to read a single page of it.
Not one page.
Because our mission today is to give you the ultimate shortcut. We're going to break down all these seemingly complex money rules into clear, actionable steps.
Simple words.
Right. The goal is for you to walk away from this discussion feeling like the CEO of your own life.
I love that phrase. And being the CEO of your own life really comes down to taking control. Mastering money isn't about being a math genius.
Definitely not. I am terrible at math.
Right. It's really about building your independence and your confidence as you step into the adult world.
Yeah.
If you can start building healthy financial habits right now while you are in high school, you're going to prevent a massive amount of stress later on.
Oh, for sure.
It's all about setting your future self up for absolute success.
Okay, let's unpack this. Before we can talk about saving cash or, spending it on things you want, we have to talk about the most fundamental rule of personal finance.
You have to earn it.
Exactly. You have to earn the money first. Cash does not just appear out of thin air, no matter how much we might wish it did.
That is the reality. And for a lot of high school students, that first experience with earning money starts right at home.
Right in the living room.
Yeah. The sources we're looking at suggest a really important shift in how we think about getting money from our families.
Instead of just getting a regular weekly allowance simply for existing and breeding.
Which is nice, but not very realistic.
Right. Financial experts highly suggest moving to a commission system.
A commission?
Yeah, a commission. That shifts the mindset completely. An allowance can feel like a handout, but a commission feels like a real paycheck.
It does.
You're essentially operating as a freelance contractor in your own house.
That is a perfect way to look at it. Earning a commission means you are assigned specific chores. Maybe that's mowing the lawn, deep cleaning the kitchen, or taking out the trash all month.
And you get paid for completing that specific job.
Yes. If you do the work, you get the money. If you decide to skip the work...
You don't get paid.
Exactly. You do not get paid. It removes the emotion from it and teaches the direct, unbreakable connection between putting in hard work and generating an income.
It is the ultimate preparation for reality. But of course, eventually you'll want to step out of the living room and get a job in your community.
A real W-2 job.
Yeah. The sources we reviewed list some fantastic part-time jobs for teens. You could be a restaurant host, a server, or a lifeguard at the local pool.
Lifeguarding is a great one.
It is. You could work in retail folding clothes, become a summer camp counselor, walk dogs in your neighborhood, babysit, or even use your own academic skills to tutor other students.
There are countless ways to start bringing in your own independent cash.
Countless ways.
And getting that first real job is a massive milestone. But the sources also point out that your very first official paycheck usually comes with a pretty big surprise.
Oh, yeah.
You might calculate your hourly rate by the number of hours you worked, expect a certain amount of money, and then open the envelope to find a much lower number.
Oh, the absolute shock of taxes.
It hurts every time.
It really does. I remember opening my first paycheck from my high school retail job. I was expecting exactly $200. I had done the math.
Right. 10 hours at $20 or whatever it was.
Exactly. But when I looked at the check, It was for something like $165. I genuinely thought my manager had made a math error.
Until someone explained it to you.
Yeah, until my dad sat me down and introduced me to FICA and income tax.
It is a universal experience. You get to see taxes taken out by Uncle Sam for the first time.
Uncle Sam taking his cut.
Yeah. It can definitely be frustrating when it happens, but it is a vital early lesson in real-world finance. Learning that a portion of what you earn goes to taxes to fund things like roads, schools, and government services is just part of becoming an independent citizen.
Here's where it gets really interesting. We know high schoolers are out there working hard and earning money, but we also found a jaw-dropping statistic in the research about how that money is being spent.
This number blew my mind.
Right. According to the data, Gen Z teens spend about $2,600 every single year.
That is a massive amount of cash passing through the hands of high school students.
Massive.
The immediate question is, where is all that money going?
We're going to break it down. The sources actually highlight 10 specific money traps that drain teen bank accounts.
10 traps.
Yeah. But instead of just reading a list from 1 to 10, let's group these into 3 main categories.
That makes it easier to digest.
For sure.
Yeah.
The first category is what I call the convenience trap. This covers fast food, fancy coffee, vending machines, and one-click online spending.
All the quick hits.
Exactly. We're talking about buying $6 lattes every morning, $10 spicy chicken sandwiches after school, or dropping $2 on chips from the vending machine every single day.
When you look at the math on convenience spending, it is staggering.
It really adds up.
If you buy a $6 coffee 5 days a week, that's $30 a week.
Wow.
That is roughly $120 a month, or nearly $1,500 a year, just on coffee.
Just on coffee. That's insane.
And one-click online spending on sites like Amazon or iTunes works the exact same way.
Because it doesn't feel real.
Right. The friction of handing over physical cash is gone. You just double-click your phone screen and $20 vanishes before you even realize what happened.
It is dangerously easy. So the second category we found is the status trap.
Ah, keeping up with everyone else.
Exactly. This is all about trendy clothes, the newest smartphones, fancy car accessories, and the latest video game consoles.
It's exhausting.
It is. The sources note that it is completely normal to want to look good, but buying outfits that go out of style in a month is a huge drain on your budget.
And the same thing happens with technology and vehicles.
Oh, definitely.
The data shows teens paying top dollar for the absolute newest phone just for the status symbol, when last year's model works perfectly fine and costs half the price.
Yeah, you don't need the newest camera lens to text your friends.
Exactly. Or with cars. A new driver does not need a brand new vehicle.
Definitely not.
But the pressure to roll up to school in something flashy leads teens to waste money on shiny rims or expensive leopard print seat covers from an old car, rather than saving that cash for repairs or insurance.
You definitely do not need shiny rims on a 2010 sedan.
No, you do not.
And that leads us to the third category, the experience trap.
This one is tricky because experiences are good, but they can be expensive.
Very expensive. This includes school dances, prom, spring break trips, expensive dates, and concert tickets. Hanging out has gotten incredibly pricey.
It really has.
A basic date can mean a $30 movie, a $35 dinner, and $15 for frozen yogurt.
That's almost $100 for one night out.
Right. Or blowing all your hard-earned savings just to be in the front row of a concert.
Yeah.
It empties the bank account fast.
What's fascinating here is that the reasons we fall into all 3 of these traps—
The convenience, status, and experiences.
Yes. The reason we fall into them is almost always connected to our emotions.
Our feelings dictate our spending.
Exactly. The sources identify 3 specific emotional spending triggers to watch out for. The first is impulse buying.
Just grabbing stuff.
Yeah. This is when you buy something without thinking it through at all. You see a candy bar at the checkout line and you just grab it.
The second trigger is retail therapy, right?
Yes.
Spending money just to make yourself feel better after a stressful exam or a bad day.
We've all been there. And the third is social pressure spending.
Peer pressure.
Exactly. This is buying things just to impress your friends or to fit in. Buying that expensive new video game console just because your entire friend group has it, even if you cannot really afford it.
So it's not really about the item itself. It's about managing the feeling.
Precisely.
To fight back against this emotional spending, the sources suggest a foundational financial tool, defining the difference between a need and a want.
It sounds so simple, but it is so powerful.
A need is something you actually must have to survive and function, like basic school supplies, groceries, or winter clothing.
Things you literally cannot do without.
Right. A want is something extra, like a brand new pair of designer sneakers or a premium music subscription.
Nice to have, but not required.
Exactly. So I want to pause and ask you, the listener, what stands out to you about your own spending habits?
Good question.
When you look at where your cash goes, are you buying mostly needs? Or are you secretly spending all your hard-earned money on wants?
Asking yourself that question is the first step toward financial maturity.
It really is.
And once you realize that an expensive daily coffee is a want and not a need, you suddenly find yourself with leftover cash.
Which is a great feeling.
It is. The real trick is deciding who tells that leftover cash where to go. That is where budgeting comes into play.
Now, I know the word budget sounds restrictive.
People hate that word.
They do. It sounds like you're putting yourself on a financial diet. But it isn't a punishment at all.
Not at all.
A budget is actually like a personal treasure map. You get to be the one who decides exactly where your treasure goes. It gives you total control.
That analogy perfectly captures it. You are drawing the map.
Yeah.
And the sources offer a highly effective, incredibly simple rule to help you draw it. It is called the 50-30-20 rule.
The 50-30-20 rule. Okay, how does that work?
You take the money you earn and you divide it into 3 distinct buckets. 50%, so half of your money, goes to your needs.
Let's put some real numbers to this to make it concrete.
Sure.
Let's say you get a paycheck for $200.
Okay, $200.
Under this rule, 50%, which is $100, goes to your needs.
Right.
If you're in high school, maybe that means paying for gas to get to your job, or covering your own car insurance, or buying your own toiletries.
Exactly. Then 30% goes to your wants.
Okay, so in our $200 example, 30% is $60.
Yes. This is the fun bucket.
The fun bucket.
This is where you get the cash for that new hoodie you have been eyeing, or a ticket to see a movie with your friends. A good, sustainable budget always includes money for having fun.
Which leaves the final 20%. Out of that $200 check, that is $40.
Right.
And that 20% goes straight into savings or to paying off any debt you might owe.
Yes. 50 for needs, 30 for wants, 20 for savings. It is clean, predictable, and easy to manage.
Super easy.
But the sources also discuss another strategy called the zero-based budget, which sounds a little intimidating at first.
It does sound intimidating. Zero-based.
Yeah, but it is actually a brilliant tool. A zero-based budget does not mean you end up with $0 in your bank account and go broke.
That is a crucial distinction. Because if I am building a budget, the last thing I want is to hit zero in my actual bank account.
Right. Nobody wants that. What it means is that your income minus your planned expenses equals 0 on paper.
Oh, on paper.
Yes. You list all the money you expect to make that month. Then you assign every single dollar a specific job before the month even begins.
So you're giving every dollar an assignment.
Exactly. You assign money to gas, to food, to entertainment, and this is the most important part. You assign a specific amount of money to your savings.
You treat savings like a bill you have to pay.
Yes. You are essentially spending your money into your savings account. When you subtract all those assignments from your income, the result is 0.
That makes total sense.
Every dollar has a purpose, so there is no mystery money left over to impulsively spend on vending machine chips.
It is total organization. But mapping every dollar out in your head or on a napkin sounds exhausting.
Yeah. Very tedious.
Thankfully, the guides point out that you don't have to do this manually. There are fantastic tracking tools available.
Lots of them.
You can use simple pen and paper worksheets if you like writing things down, but you can also use apps right on your phone.
Which most teens will probably prefer.
Oh, absolutely. The sources recommend highly rated apps like Mint, YND, which stands for You Need a Budget, or Every Dollar.
Those are great options.
You connect them to your accounts,
Yeah.
and they track where your cash goes automatically, so you always know exactly what your treasure map looks like.
You cannot manage what you do not measure, so tracking is non-negotiable.
Absolutely.
But once you have a budget mapped out and you are successfully tracking your spending, you face the next big hurdle, deciding where to physically keep the money you are saving.
So what does this all mean?
Well,
Up until now, you might have just kept cash in a drawer at home or in a jar on your desk.
the classic piggy bank.
Right. But stepping into the adult financial world means utilizing real banking tools to protect and grow your money. Let's look at the 2 main accounts you'll need to open: checking accounts and savings accounts.
Moving your cash into a real bank is a major rite of passage. A checking account is your everyday financial tool.
Your active money.
Exactly. When you get a job, your paycheck is usually deposited directly into your checking account. This account connects to your debit card.
Okay.
So when you swipe your card to buy lunch or to put gas in your car, the money is instantly pulled right out of that checking account.
So checking is for money that is in motion. It's active cash.
Yes. A savings account, on the other hand, is completely different.
How so?
This is where you intentionally hide money from yourself for your future goals.
I love that. Hiding it from yourself.
It's essential. If you are saving up for a car or for college, you transfer that money into the savings account. Keeping it separate creates a barrier.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Right. It reduces the temptation to spend it because you cannot just casually swipe a debit card at the mall to access your savings.
You'd have to physically move the money over first.
Exactly. You have to actively go into your banking app and move the money, which gives you time to rethink an impulse purchase.
You're putting friction between yourself and your own bad habits. That is brilliant.
And there is another massive mathematical benefit to using a savings account.
Oh.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, keeping your money in a bank introduces you to the concept of compound interest.
Compound interest. Let's break that down because it is basically the secret code to building wealth.
It really is. Compound interest simply means that your money makes money just by sitting in the bank.
Wait, just by sitting there?
Yes. The bank pays you a small percentage of money, called interest, just as a thank you for keeping your cash in their vault.
That sounds like free money.
It is. Let's look at a concrete mathematical example. Let's say you put $500 into a high-yield savings account or investment account that earns a 5% return every year, and you never touch it.
You just leave it entirely alone.
Right. You just leave it alone. In 40 years, that is not just $500 anymore. It has grown to over $3,500.
That is incredible.
All from that initial $500.
You didn't lift a single finger, and your original $500 generated an extra $3,000. You're letting your money do the heavy lifting for you, even while you were sleeping.
Exactly.
And speaking of having money ready to go, the sources emphasize using that savings account to build an emergency fund.
An emergency fund is the safety net that keeps your budget from collapsing.
It really is. The standard recommendation is to set a goal to save 3 to 6 months worth of your basic living expenses.
Because emergencies happen.
Life is unpredictable, and emergencies will absolutely happen. Your car will need a new alternator. Your laptop might crash right before finals.
Always at the worst possible time.
Always. If you have an emergency fund saved up, a flat tire is just an annoying Tuesday afternoon.
You just pay for it and move on.
Right. But if you do not have an emergency fund, that same flat tire is a financial disaster that ruins your whole month.
It really is the difference between panic and peace of mind.
Definitely.
Now, before we conclude, we have to touch on one more financial tool you will encounter soon: credit cards.
Ah, credit cards.
The sources give a very stern warning here. Using a credit card without understanding how to pay the money back in full every month is like trying to fly a commercial airplane without a pilot's license.
It is a guaranteed crash.
Guaranteed.
Because a credit card is not free money. It is borrowed money.
Right.
And if compound interest is your best friend when you are saving, it is your worst enemy when you are in credit card debt.
It works exactly the same way, but against you.
Exactly. The credit card company charges you interest on the money you borrowed, meaning that $30 dinner could end up costing you $60 if you do not pay the bill right away.
So always handle credit with extreme caution. That is a critical point. Sticking to the actual cash you have in your checking and savings accounts is the absolute safest way to learn how to manage your finances while you are still in high school.
Keep it simple while you're learning. We have covered an incredible amount of ground today.
We really have.
Let's do a quick recap. We established that managing your money is a real-life superpower.
Total superpower.
Earning money through hard work, recognizing and avoiding the emotional traps of convenience and status spending.
Using tools like the 50-30-20 rule or a zero-based budget.
And putting your cash into a savings account to earn compound interest. These are the clear, actionable steps to achieving total financial independence.
This raises an important question.
What's that?
Why does all of this matter so intensely right now while you are just a teenager?
That is the big question.
I want to leave you with a fascinating fact from the FDIC source material.
Okay, let's hear it.
To a high school student, the concept of retirement probably feels like a lifetime away. It feels like science fiction.
50 years in the future.
Right. But the money you earn at that very first summer job, whether you are lifeguarding, ringing up groceries, or walking dogs, actually starts building your Social Security benefits immediately.
Wait, really? Social Security,
Yes.
which is the government program that provides income to people after they retire? You're saying that starts building right now?
Yes. When you see those FICA taxes taken out of your first paycheck, part of that is going into the Social Security system under your name.
That is wild.
The choices you make at your part-time job today and the official income you record are literally already laying the financial foundation for the life you will live 50 years from now.
You are already in the game.
You're in the game on day one.
That is profoundly empowering to think about. Your future is not something that happens to you later. It is something you are actively building right now.
Today.
So we enthusiastically encourage you to take control of your cash today. Draw your own treasure map, avoid those sneaky spending traps, and start making your money work for you.
You've got this.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into money management. Keep building those financial skills.
Thanks for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe for more Transition podcast videos.